Yesterday on the show, we gave Donald Trump, of all people, credit for saying something, and that something was this.
Mr. President, I know that you received the vaccine. Mrs. Trump also got the vaccine. Would you recommend to our audience that they get the vaccine then?
I would recommend it, and I would recommend it to a lot of people that don't want to get it, and a lot of those people voted for me, frankly. But, again, we have our freedoms, and we have to live by that, and I agree with that also. But
okay, so I understand it's not a very high bar, but you should all take the vaccine so that you won't get spread and die from COVID. I didn't expect it, and he said it. So we've got some updates on this, but Yasmin, what do you think about the fact that the president actually told people that they should take this vaccine?
I think the 4 years under the Trump presidency has gotten me to the point that even whenever he seems to do something good, I'm like, why did he do it though? What is he actually getting at? And in this case, I don't know what it is. Maybe it'll come to light in a little bit. But I mean, it came out that he did get the vaccine. The first lady got the vaccine. Rupert Murdoch got the vaccine, while also saying, don't get it. It's fine. The virus isn't a thing. All of a sudden now on Fox News, the virus is a problem, by the way. And it's Joe Biden's problem, and it's Joe Biden's fault. So I guess it's easy for Trump now to come out and say, get the vaccine, because maybe he thinks it's being contrarian. I don't really know. I don't know what his deal is.
I think everything that you said there makes sense. And that could be one way that it could go. I don't think it's really going that way. Now, look, to be fair, what they say about the vaccine and COVID is very context dependent. So on a regular day, COVID doesn't matter, reopen the schools, everybody start coughing in each other's eyes. Now, when there's immigrants coming over the border, they're bringing COVID and it's the worst thing ever, even though it's not something that you should worry about. So that really does depend. I would say in terms of the vaccine specifically, they get that their audience doesn't want to take it. I mean, they convince their audience that they shouldn't put a piece of cloth over your face. You think that they're gonna put something in their blood? And I think they're all in on that. Which is why, despite the fact that Trump, who wants some personal credit for the vaccine, he said to get it. In the 36 hours following that endorsement, Fox devoted only about 6.5 minutes to the remarks. Only a handful of programs even covered them at all. Flagship straight news broadcasts, Special Report, and popular opinion shows like The Five and Tucker Carlson and Ingram didn't reference his comments at all. And why should they? Ingram and Carlson tell people to be incredibly suspicious of the vaccine. So even when Trump does something responsible, something he clearly thinks will provide him credit for what he did as president, they're suspiciously quiet about it. And sure, they did 6 minutes, but I want to put this in context. When they want to focus on something, what does that look like? Well, 6.5 minutes for Trump's remarks about vaccinations, 1 hour and 20 minutes about Biden talking about Neanderthals and saying that reopening prematurely is dangerous. They did a lot of coverage on that. In fact, Sean Hannity was the only Fox primetime host who actually mentioned the comments, even though he didn't play the clip. When they want to play a clip, they'll play a clip. They didn't play that one. But then he did say that despite the fact that he's gonna get it, he did it in the context of criticizing mainstream media for chastising Republicans for not wanting to get vaccinated. So again, even when finally one of them mentioned it because Sean Hannity really wants Trump to get credit, it was in the context of, but isn't it mean that they imply that you should get it? Isn't it wrong that they want you to get the vaccine? Isn't it patriotic to freely open yourself up to a fatal disease?
Yeah, I'm optimistically hopeful, maybe naively so, that maybe we're witnessing the downfall of Fox News, right? Because they put so much emphasis on Trump, and everything he was saying, they covered it to death while he was in office and even before he was in office. And everything they did was based on Trump and what Trump said and what Trump did and what Trump believed, whether or not he had a reason to believe any of the things he believed. And now, whenever Trump is switching the narrative, he also sued like the RNC. Now, what does Fox News do? They kind of have to keep on with the shtick because they can't just about face 180 all of a sudden because they would lose credibility, which is funny to me. But it'll be interesting to see how this plays out on Fox News in the coming over the Biden administration, really.
Yeah.
And especially with elections from the GOP to see how that kind of goes.
It's true. It's they have a difficult tightrope to walk, that they are going to want to criticize Biden, but how much can you criticize him about a pandemic that you want to pretend doesn't matter? They'll do it a bit. They have. It's difficult, but their audience is sort of single-minded and wanting to think that Trump is good and Biden is bad. But that does make it a little bit more complicated.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.